We back. So this first video, it is from fucking Jubilee. I'm trying to go.
Oh damn, this is long now. Shit.
It's long. Well, it's only 18 minutes. But
that's long.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a discussion that we can have and that they can kind of have because hopefully they got the right people talking about this shit.
Probably not Jubilee.
Well, yeah, this first video. God damn it, where is it at? Oh, here we go.
Niggas don't be asking the right questions.
Who makes better movies, Marvel versus DC? This is a middle ground episode.
The niggas suck in the seat.
So, just so niggas know, that's what it's about. That's what this Jubilee episode.
Nigga, let me save us 18 minutes. Marvel, shit.
They might talk about animated too.
Nah, they speaking animated. This DC.
Yeah, so
animated is DC. Movie
like I said before, I feel like
DC, they ain't talking about animated, and we all know it.
We're about to find out. But yeah, we can start it right now. Jubilee starting in 3, 2, 1. Who makes better movies, Marvel or DC? Starting
like,
the original Spider-Man. Like I grew up watching those, and I was not a huge fan.
No.
Yeah, totally.
What?
I didn't know.
Somebody that bitch foot.
They about to kill this woman.
What
bitch? Like just
skip these fucking ads. That bitch said the original Spider-Man was not good. The original Spider-Man cartoon was not good.
Oh, you see, tripping.
I look back at my tiny, the biggest impact I think is Batman.
Even super fans.
No comics, they know what DC's bringing to the table.
I could see how they can defend like their video games and their comics, but I don't know how they're going to back up the movies.
No shade, but their movies aren't that great.
Ultimately, you see a very cookie cutter pattern of how Marvel makes their films versus DC.
True.
Super gritty, super dark.
I will die on a hill of really apologizing and loving some of these new movies more than most people should.
I think my only expectation really is to kind of understand, where the other side's coming from. How do they connect with someone like Superman, who to me has the personality of a brick?
L factor room.
Okay, see, that's not fair. That's not fair.
It is. Nigga, Superman has no personality. What personality does Superman have?
It's they like you can say the same thing about Captain America though. Like they got the same fucking thing. The only thing is
they literally
no, that's not true.
Captain America is literally the same as Superman.
It is. Like Cookie Cutter, they're from the same era. Like Cookie Cutter, America, all values, all positive shit.
Yeah, Cookie Cutter. Cookie Cutter, white man saves the day complex. Like they both got the same shit. Like
Mayo.
All right, we'll let this shit play out. See what
We're gonna let
them talk. We're gonna let them talk. We'll see. Starting at 3, 2, 1.
My name is Ryan. I'm a philosophy major at university. I studied art history as well. The more I think about it, those things tie in a lot for the reason why I love comics so much.
Hey, I'm Will. I'm a lifelong, I would say comic book fan, but really DC homer, as my friend would call me. An apologist, some would say.
And I am as well a DC guy. I'm actually trying to voice like watching all these animated shows and whatnot. It's really inspiring to see all these characters come to life through voice and whatnot. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Marvel's pretty much always been like my favorite genre of movies. I love watching all the movies. I really love cinematography and I love how they're always played out. So yeah, I'm a Marvel fan.
I'm Nick, and I like Marvel so much that I bought a 3D printer and started printing a bunch of props for it. So I've got a 4-foot Stormbreaker sitting in my room, not doing anything.
I'm Chris.
That nigga got problems.
I'm a super fan. Just within the recent years, I've been getting like deep and deeper into it. So there's some things I may not know about, but I'm cultured around the area, so I can get around.
Marvel is only considered better because of the movies.
That's true. That's true. That's where I give Marvel at.
No. You think they only consider it better because of the movies?
Wise.
Marvel always had better stories if we being real.
All right.
Let alone the shows, even the games or anything. I'll
give it to you for like X-Men.
Because it is challenging, I think, right now.
I mean, in general.
That feeling. Socially, the conversation is Marvel. So extremely that every time DC puts out a movie, it's like almost expected that you're supposed to shit on.
Right.
Because it's not as good. They did it wrong. Now, have they stumbled along the way? Tons of times. That no one's entering into seeing a DC movie
Turn the
to
effects
just be
down,
vulnerable and
nigga,
experience what they're being given.
And it's recency bias, right? Because Christopher Reeve with Superman launched, but they also think Batman, Michael Keaton, right, and Jack Nicholson, and then even Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. Maybe not so much after that, but there was no Marvel movies at the time.
The Dark Knight kind of faded into the background when people talk about
Pause real quick.
We don't have Marvel Cinematic Universe.
There you go.
This nigga is on bullshit. First of all, Marvel had, I mean, they didn't have movies, but they had plenty of fucking like TV shows and shit. There was a Spider-Man live action TV show. There was a Captain America live action TV show. There was especially Incredible Hulk. That's the most famous TV show that they had before the 2000s came about.
Fantastic Four did too.
Yeah, I mean, even the Marvel movies made reference to a lot of this shit. Like, so, dude, I just wanted to mention that shit. That's it.
I got you. Sorry, 3-2-1.
In my opinion, without Batman Begins.
All right, disagreeers, come forward.
I'm still on your side, you guys. Did you forget we were here? The movies, the TV shows, the video games, the comic books, the books, when you oversimplify it to one aspect, you're immediately erasing thousands of people's hard work and not giving them the credit that they deserve as they add to the rest of the brand.
I guess I'm thinking, could you argue that simply because of the MCU, more people care? It used to be that to be a nerd back, even in the 90s, because I love Spider-Man, X-Men, all that stuff from the 90s. Doing cosplay, when I was doing cosplay, people yelling at me, saying stupid, dressing up in movies, all kinds of stuff. Now cosplayers get millions of followers, like on Instagram. The MCU actually made nerds cool.
Yeah.
So when I think of I think like
you can't put that all on the MCU, bro.
No, that's bullshit. That's like anime. Nah, nigga,
that's anime and like
that's everything coming off.
Everything.
That's everything, Joe. Fuck you and your trick. Fuck you and your trick or treat costume, nigga.
Yeah, that's everything coming together, my nigga. That shit took time.
Nah, that's bullshit.
And you can't put all that shit on MCU for like making shit cool or for the case is, nigga. That's like full circle type shit. Like niggas have to wait their fucking turn type shit.
let me put on my T'Challa necklace. Where is it at? Hold on. Let's fuck it.
We putting on our Wakanda shit. Hold on.
No, nigga, relax. I only said it because it was here. Damn.
You're right. Let me go find my sneakers.
Let me go find my leather print suit and shit. Like, nigga, relax.
Hey, I'll grab that leather print real quick.
Nigga.
That nigga tripping.
Yeah, he's
talking out his ass.
Full circle. Yeah, that's full circle type shit.
I'm about to get choked out. I can't hear what y'all saying.
I'm a DC fan, but I don't believe like that, bro. It's like both of them literally put in work and shit.
But it ain't even just both of them. Shit is every fucking thing.
It's every fucking thing.
Like, even if we're not even talking about DC and Marvel, my nigga, it's other comic book companies and comics.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Joe. Honestly, some of my favorite stories came from Image.
So
it's real.
Yeah.
Milestone Comics.
Milestone.
I mean, that's DC at this point, though. Let's keep it.
I mean, that was before DC acquired them, though. So like they was on their own for a while.
Yeah, but honestly, it's DC at this point, though.
If it wasn't for Dwayne McDuffie, we wouldn't even have the Justice League series.
That's true. Yeah,
that's true. Starting again in 3, 2, 1.
Suffering of the nerds that got kicked and
I
shoved
had
in
to
their
go
closet.
through this to get here.
So now that the MCU exists, I'm like, oh, now you want to say it's cool. Okay, fine. Yeah.
I do believe some of the comics do better than some of the Marvel stuff that is out. Like with all the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man were not good. Like I grew up watching those and I was not a huge fan.
Wait, the 90s?
No. Yeah, Toby. I did not.
Okay, pause.
Where's the Andrew Garfield?
Oh,
You got a point.
3 was trash.
oh,
3 was trash.
yeah. Of course, 3 is
definitely trash.
trash.
3 was trash.
2
2 was the
I was
best
so
one.
pissed.
2 was the best one for sure, but 1 was okay.
It was one was mid though. 1 was mid. Let's keep it above. 1 was mid. 2 was the best. 3 was fucking trash.
Yeah, but that's definitive though. That's like nobody can argue with that shit. Like 3 was trash.
Yeah, there's no open argument for 3. Like 3 is just automatically stamped as trash.
But but like putting them together as a trilogy, you could just really say that it's mid.
And that's still the same thing to go back to what the fuck they were saying earlier, because like far as comic books and shit, like the Mask, that's a comic book character.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And you know what kills me too about some of these people like them? Like niggas failed to mention Blade. Blade was the nigga that did off all these niggas.
Yep. He opened the door.
Like, and niggas be forgetting about Blade, and that should be making me upset sometimes. That's the one thing that make me upset with like super Marvel fans and shit. Because like niggas always like, oh, the better, but like nigga, you know how many movies it took to get y'all to this point and shit.
Blade,
like y'all had some trash. Y'all had some trash. Like
Blade wasn't the first Marvel movie.
Yeah, it was that Captain America movie, but still no.
Wasn't it the thing that kind of like I know that was like their last betting point though? Like they had
they had DADS. They had a Nick Fury movie.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm saying Blade is the one that pushed.
I ain't know about that.
Motherfuckers
They had
to like, yo, we need to put money in this shit, pumping these movies out. You can't say it wasn't. Was it not?
The difference with Blade is that they didn't build like the ecosystem to support that this shit can actually exist in Marvel. Like Blade, they kind of presented Blade as this like own separate thing. Like it's his own separate, like sort of like dark fantasy bullshit. I mean, but like, just hear me out. Like it's different. Like Blade is different in a sense that it's his own self-contained thing. It'd be hard to put that version of Blade in the Marvel MCU, because at least with everything else, like it exists in like an ecosystem where like like all that shit is actually plausible for like all those characters to exist within that world. Blade was his own separate sort of like its own separate thing, and like it'd be hard to integrate that shit without like sort of like rehashing the character, like, and working some shit out so he can exist.
When those movies came out, was it any type of like side characters in the Blade like movie series or some shit like that?
Like just the main characters. Like you had Blade, you had Whistler, Hannibal King. Yeah, that's then Dracula. Dracula is a character, but I mean, it's fucking Dracula. But
like flavors. But like that's the thing. Like the MCU thing wasn't a thing, and all I'm saying is Blade was the fucking foundation. Like if Hollywood didn't see the money that they was making from Blade, like to be like, all right, maybe we should go ahead and make like a little universe so we can keep this thing going.
Nah, Blade didn't make that much money. I doubt that it made that much damn money, especially after Trinity. That shit was ass.
Yeah, when is the next time that we actually got a Marvel movie after Trinity?
It was
Wow.
That was Punisher?
Had to be Punisher.
It was either Punisher or Fantastic Four or some shit. It had to be like, Elektra isn't.
No.
Elektra.
No, you had to have Daredevil before Elektra.
Blade made $417 million. That's from the trilogy.
But yeah, we gotta see. I want to know like
timeline
when Blade Trinity came out. Like, what was the next movie after Blade Trinity? Because that's a good question. Because I feel like it's like a couple fucking years before we got another like actual Marvel fucking movie.
Yeah, because it was
they discovered new technology for CGI and shit like that before we got another.
Right.
So that's all.
I want to say we started to get like after, because like they had a couple of trash ones, but after that, like they got Spider-Man, and we had Spider-Man.
But Spider-Man was like that's way later on though.
That's way later on though, but still, like it
was the 90s when Trinity came out, or the early 2000s, like 2001, 2002,
early 2000s.
Yeah.
So like that's all I'm saying. Like that shit was like, because like if it wasn't for that, like motherfuckers wouldn't have the MCU, bro. Like you wouldn't have all these consistent movies and shit back to back because of that.
Yeah, well, Bryce is doing the research.
Research.
All right, let's get through this. Let's get through this video. We be here all day with this shit, though.
That's why I'm going. Starting to get into 3, 2, 1.
I see those movies as like corny perfection. It's like absolute cheese.
Like you said, it's corny.
Right, I love that.
He didn't give me that representation. I'm an awkward teen. He was like a very just dark and like brooding, like more DC. He just was very not awkward, how I wanted to see Peter Parker.
You're telling me that Spider-Man 3 dance wasn't awkward to you?
Awkward as shit.
I still can't watch that. I can't watch that scene to this day. It makes me cringe so hard.
Everyone just wants happy stories.
Yeah, everything that's going on right now. You don't want to see even darker.
I want depression personified.
Yeah, exactly.
I think DC kind of shows people like what they already see in humanity. They're like, wow, are our cities actually like this? Like, is this actually happening? I feel like people kind of get scared and they're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. I'm not worried about no super villains walking around and shit like that.
But niggas ain't trying to live in Gotham and Bloodhaven though.
We already do. What are you talking about, nigga? We in Chicago.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We live the closest thing to it, but ain't nobody else trying to live in that shit.
Okay, so Blade came out in '99. X-Men dropped next year.
Oh, okay, so the X-Men movie.
And Blade 2.
Just look at
Spider-Man.
Like, I'm not built like no Captain America, but I can relate to him in the heart. It's what matters. And so I'm just like, just seeing every character. I'm like, oh, that's me. Oh, wait, that could be me. Oh, that could be me. And I'm just like, I'm
too grown for
just
that
experienced that with Marvel. And that's how
Our characters are more relatable.
Yeah,
you got him on that.
So relatable as a teenager and seeing another teenager get all these superpowers, and he's like, I'm just a kid, like I'm just trying to go to school, like I need a break.
It's kind of a combination between the comics, the TV shows, the MCU in total. When you humanize a character first and then introduce their abilities, you not only give the audience time to relate to them and attach themselves to the character, but you give them an opportunity to see them superpower, amazingness, things like that, just make Marvel just a bit more relatable to me.
Relatable ain't better though.
I'm a pause.
That's important to say.
I'm gonna be honest with you. None of these characters in Marvel has been relatable to me until the Black Panther.
The Black Panther.
Yeah, nothing was relatable to me. Like, because half of these fucking movies came out when we was damn near like in high school and like probably a little bit younger, what the case is, and like. There were no like kid superhero movies out there that were good in the Marvel and DC era. It was some bullshit ass movies out there. Like it was a high school movie on fucking Disney, or what the case is. High school high, like bullshit movies like that. What the case is. Like just bullshit like that. But far like on a Marvel and DC level type shit, like I don't think no movies are really out that were showing like kid care, like how they got Tom Holland now and shit, like that he's actual high schooler and shit like that.
He's in his 20s, bro.
I know. I'm just saying though, the nigga looks young, nigga. We had Tobey fucking Maguire, my nigga.
Yeah.
He looks old as shit. Like he was in his fucking 30s, like when he started making these fucking movies, probably, or some shit like that. Like he looked old as shit. Like we didn't have no like kid looking fucking characters in like Marvel and DC movies and shit like that. Like even when X-Men first dropped, like we got fucking grown Cyclops, old ass Wolverine, grown Storm. We got everybody grown already and shit like that. But now,
it was like Rogue.
Like Rogue.
She was supposed to be young, and she was grown.
Hey, play the video, bro.
This nigga, we don't want to talk, nigga. We have fucking conversations on this channel, punk ass.
I know, nigga, but damn, it's an 18-minute video, Joe. We'll be here all day with this shit.
All right, well, fuck you.
There is an element to DC that I get. that they are unrelatable. Superman really is the most obvious because he's overpowered from another planet, all these things.
But he's an immigrant.
Core of all that is this unbreakable.
Right.
No, but listen. Just because it's like a crazy way to format it doesn't make it any less true. Superman's an immigrant.
Yeah,
Superman's an immigrant from this country trying to live a.
Got germs.
This nigga, yeah.
I'm about to get
No,
this.
but I get what you're saying, guys. 'Cause,
I'm just saying that just because he's just because it's a wild ass way of him being an immigrant doesn't change the fact that he's an immigrant. That's still a way to relate, like he's a fish out of water. Added with it his powers and shit, and just like his just living his life. He's a man surrounded by glass, and just like one touch, and he could just fucking destroy everything.
I mean, the same thing could be said about Marvel because like everybody got fucking superpowers, and now it's like, granted, like niggas be making jokes about Batman, but Batman is like that one nigga in the group that like motherfuckers like respect this nigga because this nigga throw hands and shit. Like, of course he the only nigga on the team without powers and shit, but
that's why he
like,
be the only
still respect on his name because like this nigga a fucking tactician and everything else. Like that's how I see it. Like, I mean, Marvel has like perks and shit, but majority of everybody, like, as far as like relatable, like when you see a nigga that's just a regular ass human, yeah, of course he's like a billionaire. I mean, they got Tony Stark too, but I mean, Tony got a fucking like
nigga. Tony is Batman and Batman is Tony, nigga. At the end of the fucking day, nigga. Who playing with money, they can build shit and do whatever they want.
Do whatever.
Crazy shit.
They are one and the same, my nigga.
Some crazy shit happened to him that fucked up their whole shit. Batman experienced trauma. Tony experienced trauma.
Yeah, but
the level that Batman experienced to change his whole shit.
Yeah, the only difference between Tony and him is like, you get Tony out the suit, Tony just useless. But you fucking like Batman got hands. Like
Batman is Batman. Like Bruce Wayne is the fucking disguise.
Right.
He's just Batman.
like this nigga this nigga be like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to fight Darkseid and shit.
Yeah.
And a cowl or a suit. I mean suit, I mean like a tux.
Start again at 3, 2, 1.
There's unlimited power, but at the same time, once he met Mom, Pa, Kent, he fell in love with like the family and being a high schooler and learning how to acclimate. And so at the end of the day, they are dealing with the same human and basic problems and conflicts that we have,
I think that's where Zach really tried to tie it all in. It's with Batman vs. Superman. DC fans hated. Mm-hmm. They were not about it. And it's just like,
don't worry, we did too.
Everyone hated it. Exactly. People were not a fan of it, but it's just like he tried to humanize these characters. And that was really an important step to take because with Superman and Batman, they were never shown to have a breaking point or be showed up as the villain.
Fallible too, yeah.
But also going back to representation and relatability, like, Asian. Not many Asian superheroes, but with Shanks and all these other characters, I would give props to Marvel. And as long as it's not forced, like shoved down people's that's what I really don't like. But as long as it's not shoved down people's throats and like you're gonna have to digest
DC
this.
just dropped the fucking show.
When you guys did bring on Peter Parker and Spider-Man, me being
it's called Kung Fu. I think that's part of DC. I don't know shit about it. But it's on CW or what the case is. I think that I think it's what you call
the minute you said CW, I gave no fucks.
I mean, it's not my fault the shit ain't good on the fucking channel, right? I didn't make the shit. I'm just saying.
The minute you said CW, I did not give a fuck.
Yeah,
Asian characters. That's all I'm saying.
Like peak.
The first 3 seasons of Arrow, though.
You said
you can't tell me the first 3 seasons of Arrow wasn't crack though.
Oh yeah, Arrow.
No, they were
Arrow,
they were dope.
Season of Flash. It's just DC. I mean, fucking CW has this fucking formula that they rinse and repeat, and that shit gets super repetitive,
and it just does
over and over and over every fucking season, and that kind of draws people out. Like
you know what would be perfect
you
though?
see that a lot with
if
Flash.
they just let the shit die. Do like 5.
Yeah, just do like you don't even have to do that many, and then like you got the other shows. Put these niggas on the other show. You don't have to like do this like crossover thing where you got them on there once out the week and shit, trying to just get this nigga like out of the way, or get the crossover episodes out of the way kind of shit. And it's like these niggas live in these separate cities that ain't that far away, and I don't see why you can't like just end his shit, just have him on there like every like 2-4 episodes or some shit.
Yeah,
and like or just like when niggas shows in, just have them on another show, like all those niggas on another show, and just split like the time or some shit, showing like what's going on in the city and shit. Because like that's the one thing I can say about like watching CW, like all they shit, like it gets repetitive, like because after 3 episodes, I think season 3 of Arrow, like further on down, this shit was like super repetitive. Fucking Flash was super repetitive. Fucking Legends of Tomorrow was like trash. Then they introduced Black Lightning, and then Black Lightning started somewhere down the line. It started to fucking follow the same fucking pattern as the rest of the shows and shit, and it started like shift off too.
Yeah.
Could I just say that suit was terrible? Like it was abysmal.
What suit?
Worst Black Lightning suit. That was the worst suit. You gonna get this man light up? Nah, bro.
I've seen worse.
Yeah.
What suit is worse than Black Lightning suit?
Give me a second. I'll let you know.
Please.
All right, let's
I'm from New York, and so I was just like, I see him and I see me. At the time, I was like, oh, you know what? I want to go to this college too, and I want to go here, and I want to do that. And I'm like, you know what? Hopefully, do get bit by a spider on the way there. So I'm just like, okay, cool.
I genuinely, as a kid, like having what I felt like my own superhero backstory was like losing a parent at a young age, being kind of a caretaker to her, my mom, when I was 15, and still losing that person. It rewired in my brain many things, one of which was take care of other people and put yourself second, put everybody else first. 2, never show the crack in that it's actually crippling you trying to be perfect. Because I did always try to say like, when you see me, you're gonna be like, how does he just fly through life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was healthy, wasn't. And then once I realized that I actually could be vulnerable, I could be broken, and that being broken is more beautiful and makes you more powerful, that sort of opened up the floodgates of finding those things in the DC characters. And I think the writers, especially now in comics, are going that route.
My fan community can be toxic.
That's both of them.
That's any fandom, bro. Oh, that shit is always toxic, yo.
You want to talk about no-brainer?
Everyone ready?
That's definitely both of them.
Disney Plus, Hulu,
That's any fandom, bro.
I think we can all agree that every fan,
right?
Every
fandom.
even if it's something as simple as, you know, someone's title changing or someone becoming a new hero, you immediately get the people on Twitter just being like, I hate this person. I honestly feel really bad for Brie Larson because she got the brunt of it during that whole Captain Marvel phase. Personally, I liked her. I think she's a great actress. I think
really understand what the problem is.
I don't either.
I'm not a big fan of the character, but I was like, this is fun. I don't want to
lost their mind when they first introduced Miles.
The actor and treat them as they're only that.
Right.
That's not being a fan.
Yeah.
That's being an ass.
I remember when Black Panther came out, a lot of people refused to see it because they said it's a PC movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like there's so much vitriol in different corners. I like to believe it's not most people, but like the loudest voices on social media are like always exactly.
Always cunts. That's what that is.
Yeah. Black Panther. Anything like this is supposed to be a black Superman coming out, and people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's born of the political correctness." But there's been iterations of black.
Also, they could have kept that black Superman. Let's be real. They could have kept that shit.
Yeah, they trying to.
I'm like, yo, y'all trying too hard with this one.
Well, I get toxicity on my end just for being a girl. And like you guys are predominantly, I mean, it's all males.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've never been like directly targeted at, but I definitely do get the sense of like, oh, you're female, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. Oh, you're younger, you have no idea what you're talking about.
I really probably could have came with everybody. I think the only reason why I didn't was because it was prefaced by saying my community. I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Instagram, and so I'm ignorant to it, I guess is what it is. I had a weird situation. I would be, I guess, more in the jock category growing up, in the sense of that was more my reputation, I suppose. But anyone who knew me and any of my friends came over to my house, like when I started dating, like in high school, and the girls came over to my house, I had action figures everywhere. So the jig was up, you know what I mean? And like, this is really who I am and what I'm really about. And I always found I got a great reaction from that. I think if people buy too much into the toxic nature of Marvel versus DC or whatever the movie is and their gripes on it, they're losing a chance to focus on the positive of the character and why they love it.
My side would win in a fight.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this is where it gets nasty.
It's the DC people that ain't moving right now.
Let's talk about it. Okay, here's the thing: DC has Superman. Marvel has like 3 Superman.
That's a fact.
3 of them.
Not to mention
They
all
keep
the
making them.
fucking,
Marvel has cosmic
all the
beings
fucking mutants
that can wipe out all existence and shit, Joe. No, nigga, we good.
Yeah, we got Silver Surfer
beings too and shit.
They got Molecule Man. Though,
Right, come on,
DC does have Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard right there, because it is a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like, I mean, pick your poison.
You gotta put Darkseid against fucking
Actually, I think Darkseid is the one that handles everybody.
Darkseid by himself.
I think the new gods coming through. That's it. It's over. I don't know what DC bring it to what Marvel bring it to some new gods.
Shit, Galactus and fucking Silver Surfer.
Bro, fucking Galactus, the Beyond,
the whole planet,
the presence, the void, like that. No, they got cosmic niggas on the scale that fucking DC ain't got, bro.
He's a new god over case is, but I think he can still catch these fucking hands from a lot of niggas. Yeah, so that's a good one. But it's some people that ain't moving in the background in this fucking video. So let's see, starting at 3-2-1.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Wow. They know too. They know. It's good. They know what's up.
They know the place.
These are
I think
DC
that's
people.
why the conversation is Marvel connects more with like the real person, because DC does feel like Titans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, comic books
Titans
are
would get
American
destroyed by
mythology.
the
I heard that
X-Men.
somewhere in a documentary, and it's true. We don't have like an American mythos outside of like Paul Bunyan and like some silly stuff. It's superhero.
Killing a lot of niggas.
Superman, Batman, Wonder
Exactly.
Woman, these like, Atlas holding the world on their shoulders figures. So it's like, it's always them. Batman's like plan to defeat everyone is just, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
And everyone on Earth goes, he's right.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna get down to the brass of it, pissed off Superman. Good luck. Someone taking out the big dog.
I always see these videos on YouTube like, oh yeah, Superman versus Hulk, or Batman versus Iron Man. And it's like, it's all made up. People have their own.
And listen, until Superman fights Goku, we know that's the real.
The Justice League is way overpowered. Like way overpowered.
Right.
I would just say their brutality is a lot more severe compared to Marvel characters. That was like the only thing that came to mind. I was saying the MCU is a little bit more light and fluffy, so they have a little bit more humanistic thoughts. And I just feel like they would just destroy them. Unfortunately,
niggas be killing. Marvel be killing niggas.
Marvel really don't. Well, they don't really. In the comics and shit like that, they kill people. Like in
Comics,
the
they be killing motherfuckers. So.
they ain't really killing nobody. They forgiving and shit, and like letting people go and shit like that.
Yeah, I ain't with that shit. Like you my enemy, you got to go.
I feel like the only real like murder that we get in the MC universe was fucking when Thor killed fucking Thanos, like in the first 5 seconds of the fucking end game and shit like that.
Snap this.
I'm pretty sure it was some more killings and shit, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was some more. But like far as like brutality type shit, I think that might be it in the MCU. Like far as like movie wise going, the comic books and shit like that, yeah, niggas die, but far as the movies, nah.
I mean, niggas be dying. Well, Well, niggas do be dying in DC, but not like quite.
Nigga, it was probably a higher body count in the fucking Joker movie than there was in the whole MCU.
Right. If you niggas remember too, if you go to like old 90s X-Men, they left that nigga Morph to die.
Yeah, that's true too.
That nigga got body by them Sentinels, bro.
Yeah.
They was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, no, it was a couple killings. Well, that's not MCU. That's fucking that's when Sony had the property, or whatever the case is. Never mind.
A lot of niggas die in DC though. A lot of
niggas do
die
die
in
in
DC.
but-
Hell yeah, they die like shit in DC.
Now we talking like villains just killing motherfuckers, then yeah, of course. Like Joker can kill a whole bunch of motherfuckers and rape.
Also in the cartoons that's going on right now, like nobody is fucking with Harley Quinn's body count. As far as killings and shit like that, as far as that whole show altogether, I think ain't nobody fucking with that shit right there. So it just all depends.
Yeah.
Sorry, I take 2-1.
Question would be, you know, if you want to pit one person against another person, you know, the whole argument that I hear a lot with, you know, DC fans is Batman with prep time. What is that argument? Because he's just the dude.
I've never made that argument because honestly, the argument is usually he's already had the prep time.
Okay. Yeah.
That's always the.
So you just assume he's already figured it
Batman's
out?
prepared for every pot. Like his mind is like, I've calculated 17 million outcomes. Like if
he's
they,
Doctor Strange essentially.
he's Doctor
Strange. Save his dead parents.
If they were together in a movie and Doctor Strange was like, I saw these outcomes, he'd be like, yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
And as a reader too, not just a viewer, I do get bored of that. You know what I mean? Because then there's almost no stakes. It's just like Batman knew all along. I was like, oh cool. So it didn't even matter, you know?
What I liked about Infinity War and the Snyder Cut was the level of dread you felt for the characters and what they were having to go through in order to get to their goal. And their goal was not ultimately met, especially with Infinity. I got so emotional at Infinity War, and my head literally hurt after watching that. Like having the characters be vulnerable, like not having them at their peak,
not having them niggas
is very important for the audience to be able to relate and to be able to feel for the characters.
Right.
Yeah, because niggas hated Infinity War because the good guys didn't win. For the
yeah, I actually loved it.
Movies are not cinema. Step forward if you agree.
Marvel movies are not cinema. I don't know what
Step
that
forward
means.
if you disagree.
I don't know what that means.
Fucking what director said that shit?
What do you know about making movies?
You said who?
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese said that shit. That was a while ago too. And the nigga was just hating. He was on the hating train of how much money the shit was making and shit. Talking about the shit don't have a story and all that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to feel like. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, nigga, if it plays in a movie theater, my nigga, that's cinema.
And it's not like you don't get deep. Like, I think what he's trying to say is you don't get any like deep meaning out of some of the movies, but you don't necessarily like some of the movies ain't made for that shit. You know what I mean? Like some of it's just you sit back, you watch it, and you just enjoy it.
Have a good fucking
like.
Yeah, I mean there are deep meanings to it, but like you know niggas like I mean I like some of Martin Scorsese shit, but you know niggas like that are like dinosaurs. They stuck with like a specific way of like how art should be and shit.
Yeah, they want all the actors to be from Broadway and shit like that. Like
right, or they just like they want their stories like completely like over dramatic and shit, and it's like nigga like. You could say the same shit about like the Notebook or whatever other.
Hey, hold on, wait. We can stop this whole conversation right now, my nigga. Martin Scorsese's name is on Shark Tale with Will Smith. We good. We ain't got shit else to talk about.
Seriously?
Yes, I just typed in fucking Martin Scorsese, and Shark Tale is on one of his lineups of movies that he directed.
I mean, he done more shit.
I know he has plenty of movies, but nigga, Shark Tale,
bro. I just watched Shutter Island. I was just like, man, I fucking love Scorsese. And I gotta be honest,
Island was pretty good.
Shark Tale has not. I like Shark Tale. That kind of Scorsese's that dude. He wrong, but he that dude.
Yeah. So I don't know what he means by cinema because that's just that's motherfuckers going into theaters for entertainment. That's what a cinema is. So if the shit
Like-
in the theater,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
he's
you
just
get
thinking more story, like
super story driven, super dramatic.
story driven. Yeah, that in a sense, but like even the basic shit is like tiring. Like how many fucking love stories can you make and go and fucking watch? They all pretty much the same. Any category you pick, horror, whatever, like
they all
have the
same beat.
same beginning, middle, end. Like like cinema's just built like that, and not unless you like somebody that's weird that's coming into the game and do like different shit, like fucking movie I think about all the time is like Memento and shit, and this shit was like a puzzle piece putting
even
that shit
even
together
in
to understand
filmmaking,
that movie.
even in filmmaking, they know though it's like 3 genres that never fucking change. Nigga, that's horror,
Yep,
romance, and I think it may be comedy. I'm not fucking sure, but like those are
Comedy's pretty much the same too.
yeah, but it's three categories in movies that never fucking change. Like the plot lines never change, the characters never change. Only thing that ever changes is the names of the fucking characters. That's literally about it.
Names, yeah. The story and the premise is pretty much all the same, like across the board. So
At the end of the day, I like movies like Wolf of Wall Street. I like The Irishman. I like Goodfellas. I'm not trying to sit back and watch the movies all the motherfucking time. Sometimes,
yeah, and they not.
Exactly.
And that's another thing that be killing me about like some of the old heads like that be talking about like cinema shit, and they be like saying like all this deep meaning shit. Cause like the best example I could think of is you remember how you felt about the Joker movie, CJ?
Yeah, I saw that shit coming.
And niggas was like, oh man, this is like the best thing in the world, and yada yada yada. And it's like, I mean, you would spoon fed the whole fucking movie at the beginning of the movie, and like niggas is like, oh, you didn't understand. Like, no, like niggas understood the whole plot of the movie. That was the that was
everything.
yeah, it was just the whole pacing and everything. Like it was okay, but like it wasn't the best fucking thing in the world. And like that, and that's kind of how it is with the other shit. Like, you know, they come with these like plots and stories and shit, but like they don't like they try to make it seem like this philosophical deep ass shit where it's like simple
and it's not
simple at its core and shit. Like,
and it never really is.
Yeah, it never really is.
It's sensationalized. It's like when the Popeyes chicken sandwich dropped.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
so dead ass. I'm not even trying to be funny.
All right, no, fuck that. Play it. Play the video. Fuck them. Play the video. Play the video. Play the motherfucking video.
Can I explain?
No.
Let
the minute Popeye's chicken, bro, you lost me.
Let the nigga explain the Popeye's chicken theory. Let's go.
Let him finish.
Everybody was on the hype train for this Popeyes chicken sandwich. Honestly, it's just a sandwich. It's just okay. But because everybody's doing this video, everybody's reacting, everybody makes this thing out of this chicken sandwich. Everybody has to go get it. Everybody has to be at Popeyes. You fucking work Popeyes to death over this chicken sandwich. That's just okay. Nigga, we're like, what, 2 years behind? Ain't nobody still going to Popeyes for that fucking chicken sandwich?
I haven't even had it yet.
Exactly. You don't even hear, oh, guess what? The Popeyes chicken sandwich is back. Oh, damn, we gotta ran out again. Let's go back and get it. It's just sensationalized, bro. Like,
that's
man, sometimes motherfuckers just put too much dip on the chip. They just too much into it, and it just gets ridiculous. Like, don't get me wrong, Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job on the Joker. It was beautiful.
Yeah, the acting was great.
It was okay. It was okay. It's okay. It's okay after the fact. After the hype is gone, you think back to it and be like, yeah, that was cool. I'm glad I saw it, but like, this didn't blow me away. This isn't a movie that stuck with me permanently.
Right. And, you can say that about any fucking movie. Like, you watch Saving Private Ryan and shit. Like, like, these are decent movies. These are good movies. Like, you like, that's all I'm saying. Like, people put like so high of a pedestal for like all these movies and shit, and say, oh man, it's deep philosophical meaning and yada yada yada. It's like, nah, bro, it's not even that deep. Like you can, yes, you can pull that shit out and you could say that, and and it correlate and relate to motherfuckers, of course. But like, don't make it seem like, oh, this is a masterpiece and this is like the standard for like every fucking thing that is filmmaking and like cinema, period. Like, no, like every genre, everything has like its own perks and shit.
It's a large ocean.
Yeah.
A large ocean with different types of shit. There's B movies, trash movies, westerns, neo-western, noir, just all kind of shit. And there's always stuff being reinvented. So like, what do you mean?
That's true. Starting again in 3, 2, 1.
Right? I think we all are going to disagree pretty heavy with that one. If you look at not just the numbers and not just the worldwide success, but also the stories and the emotions and the ebb and flow of the storytelling. I think they're definitely not only cinematic, but some of the best examples of art that a worldwide audience of different ages and a lot of different people can come together and watch and enjoy, you know, where maybe sometimes a more boutique or arty film might not have that same, you know, response.
Yeah. I think the second you try to put ground rules on what art is, you fundamentally don't understand. You're missing the point of art.
Yeah. For sure.
Like, how do you define cinema?
Right.
You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no, you know, cookie cutter definition of, oh, okay, this movie is cinema, but like Shrek 2 is not. Like, it's
high cinema, bro.
But it's that type of thing where if you decide that things have limits, you're already not only limiting the audience, but you're limiting creative freedom. You know, if someone comes along and says, oh, that's not cinema, what are you telling the future filmmakers? That what they want to do is not considered cinema? You're immediately, you know, trashing what these new people.
Everybody don't want to make the fucking Titanic, bro.
It's a fact.
Can do that. Yeah. You're right.
Everybody don't want to watch that shit either.
Me and my mom, me and my friends, and we're all different ages. That's like the point of cinema. So.
Group hug, everybody. Group hug.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it was cool.
They didn't stand.
They
up.
didn't. Yeah, Jubilee be soft with the. They be soft with the softball questions and shit, man. They don't go hard and go in.
No,
I think they just keep it, you know, just keep it safe.
Nah, not one episode. We ain't never react to it, but it was like, do all black people think the same, nigga? The first question was fucking do all black people like fried chicken or something?
Yeah, that shit was.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, cut that shit off.
Yeah.